kasi after na, pagkatapos na ito. After ng task pa, okay, time is up, di ba? So, pag time is up mo, i-collect mo na yung mga specific instructions. Kasi baka madala nila, baka madala nila. Yung talaga sa actual na assessment.
After the demonstration.
After na ng demonstration nila, iiwan natin yan sa kanila specific instruction. Kasi nandun yung stuff, okay, marami siya, prepare hot meals, ano pa yung mga ano, di ba? Nandun na yung mga recipe nila, ganyan. So, unlike sa TM, kasi na demo pa na, after that, well, you don't have any time anymore, no? Para mag-lunch. Ano ba yung next? Kasi isa lang yung share. Okay? So, if you don't have any more question, time man natin. Gusto ko dyan time tayo. Pero sa actual assessment, baka walang ganyan na time. Hindi sila mag-set, mag-a-alarm lang yan sila. So, pwede naman din kasi kayo mag-request magpa-alarm mga 5 minutes before para maka-wrap up kayo. Pero kung ito, may available naman tayo na timer, dito na lang. Hindi, actually sila na actually sila sa inyo, nakatala sila sa inyo. Kung gusto ba ninyo o i-warn mo few minutes before mag-time, ang tanay na sila sa inyo. Pwede naman ko na uban man din, kung sila gusto nila dahil sila 20, kaya distract sila mag-move nilang alarm. So, timer tayo. Set ulit sa 20 minutes na.
Okay, good morning everyone. By the way, let me welcome you to our assessment center. Okay, so my name is April Enriquez and I am your competency assessor for today. Okay, so we have here with us today our Assessment Center Manager, Ma'am Maria Belina Hubahib, Ma'am, our TESDA representative, Sir Gilbert John Escobeta, and our Processing Officer, Ma'am Rosemary Inglan, Ma'am. Okay, so, Ma'am, may I have your documents? Ma'am, the documents are ready. Okay, so, do not worry about their presence because they are only here to oversee the conduct of the assessment. Okay? If it is in accordance with the prescribed assessment methodologies and procedure. So by the way, before we start, I want to give you an overview of our assessment procedure. So first, you are going to have your orientation here at our orientation area. After that, you're going to proceed with your actual simultaneous demonstration at our demonstration area. After the demonstration, you're going to have your oral interview here at our interview area. And also, our feedbacking at the feedbacking area. Okay, so for those who are not yet called for interview and feedbacking, kindly wait in our holding area right here. Okay? So first of all, I would like to ask if there is any one of you who couldn't understand English. Lahat ba tayo nakakaintindi ng English dito? Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, so for your attendance, as I call your name, kindly come here in front and kindly bring your ID and your admission slip for verification and then kindly sign in the attendance sheet. Okay, so Mr. Conrado, your ID please. Kindly sign here the signature. Okay. How about Miss Norma, Miss Carlos? So I have here your accomplished application forms and also your self-assessment guides. So as I have reviewed earlier, I have seen here that you are already ready to take the assessment. Am I right? Okay, so I just would like to remind you that our assessment is voluntary. Meaning to say it is in your own will and you are not being forced to take our assessment. Okay? So also, I would like to inform you that our assessment is being monitored and recorded through our CCTV surveillance camera. Okay? So this is in accordance with our Data Privacy Act and it is in the consent form that we have signed here. Okay, so do not worry about it because it is confidential. Okay? Only the authorized personnel are allowed to access all the documents, especially the CCTV camera. Okay. So again, our assessment is voluntary. But why do you think we have this assessment? What is its main purpose? Yung trabaho. What else? Okay, very good. So our main purpose for this assessment is for certification. So that you are going to be certified in the qualification that you have applied for. Okay? So when you are found out to be competent in this qualification, then you are going to receive the national certification for Cookery NC2. And this certification may be used, you may use it for your job application either locally or abroad. Okay? For job promotion, if you are currently employed. And even for starting up your own business. Okay? So I hope that you are motivated by those things. Okay? And that you're going to do your best during your assessment. Okay? So my role as your assessor is only to observe your assessment, to gather my observations and record, and also from those observations and evidences that I have gathered to make decisions whether you are competent or not yet competent for this qualification. Okay? So, at the end of the assessment, and you have found out that you are not yet competent, so you do not worry about it because you can still reapply. You can still apply for reassessment. Okay? So in case your qualification is, or your reassessment is full qualification, then you have to undergo the entire process. But if your qualification is cluster type and you are competent in some cluster of competency, then your reassessment will focus only on the cluster of competency where you are found to be not yet competent. Okay? So however, if you fail 2 consecutive assessments, then you will be advised to take a refresher course before applying for another reassessment. Is that clear? Okay. So, in the case that you really think that you are competent, okay, so you have the right to appeal. Okay, so you may submit your letter of appeal to our assessment center manager. Okay? So your letter of appeal, if possible, must be submitted after the assessment within 24 hours. So that it will be addressed immediately. Okay? So, for the issuance of your national certificate, please make sure that you have provided our processing officer with the correct and working email address, since your certificate will be sent to you via email. Okay? So, are your emails correct? Okay, so good. Okay. So, I would like to know if we have Muslim brothers or sisters here. And how about Seventh-day Adventists? Nanas also. Okay, it's because our qualification is cookery, right? Okay, so it means that we're going to handle different kinds of food ingredients, including pork, meats. Okay, so for those who are not allowed to handle pork meat, such as our Muslim brothers and sisters and Adventists, so they will be considered to take an alternative or use an alternative type of meat. Okay? Also, on their samahayang, they can have adjustments on their schedule of tasks. Okay? So, how about those who are taking medications or medicines? Do you have anyone here taking medicines? None? Because I also advise that you take it before the assessment. Okay? Because once the assessment starts, you are no longer allowed to do so. Okay? So for your personal needs, our laboratory is located at the end of the hallway and our canteen is located at the lobby. So again, when the assessment begins, you are no longer allowed to leave the premises of the assessment area. Okay? You're also prohibited to use any type of electronic devices. Okay? As well as ask questions. Okay? So this is the time that you can ask questions if you have any clarifications. Okay? So also during the assessment, we must make sure that we are following the proper safety protocol, especially because we are handling food. So we must follow the proper kitchen hygiene in handling food and use our personal protective equipment to avoid contamination. Okay? So do you have any questions? Okay, clarifications. Yan. Okay. So very good question, ma'am. I just would like to reiterate, as I have said earlier, our assessment will last for 6 hours. So you must be able to do all your tasks within 6 hours. Okay? So again, the specific tasks that you are going to perform are the unit of competencies under the 3 cluster of competencies. Okay? So what are those 3 cluster of competencies again? Prepare and cook hot meals. So I think you already know that because you are trained for that. Prepare cold meals and prepare desserts. Okay. So finally, I am going to collect evidences through the following assessment methods, which are demonstration and oral interview. Okay? So any further questions? None at all? Okay, so thank you so much. Right now, I am going to give you the specific instructions for your demonstration. So please read it carefully and do not hesitate to ask questions if you have some. Okay, are we done? Okay, so kindly forget. Okay, so on the specific instructions, it is stated there that the specific task that you're going to be performing later shall be given to you by means of drawlats. Okay? So it will be given to you by means of drawlats because we have many types of dishes, right? So the specific dish will be given to you by means of drawlats and you're going to be grouped into 2. But each group, as stated in the specific instruction, each group will still perform all of the cluster of competencies since you have chosen to be assessed with the full competency. Okay? So again, we have 3 clusters of competencies and you have chosen to be assessed with the full competencies. That is why you are going to perform all of the cluster of competencies. Okay, thank you, ma'am. So please keep it, and I will just collect it later after your demonstration. Okay, so any further questions or clarifications? None? Okay, so let us now proceed to your demonstration area. Okay, so this is the workstation 1 is still here, and the workstation 2 is still here. Okay. So you may now start. Okay, by the way, you have already been given the kind of dish that you are going to perform, right? Through the lots. Okay. Okay, so time's up. Please read to me the specific instructions. Thank you. Please proceed to our voting area. Okay, so I will only call one person at a time for our oral interviews. Kindly stay at the voting area if you are not yet called. Okay. So, Mr. Conrado. Okay, so how do you feel right now? Nervous? Okay, that is common. Just relax. Because this is just a test of your underpinning knowledge. Okay, so I will ask you a series of questions. First is, how do you plan to decorate or finish the dessert?
Dessert with frosting, icing, between or garnish like fruit, babies, or nuts.
Thank you. So, please proceed back to the voting area. Okay, Ma'am Norma, please. How do you feel right now? Okay. So, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Okay, are you ready? Okay, so first is, when sanitizing an area, is it still necessary to rinse off the detergent? Thank you so much. Please wait at the voting area. Okay. Okay. So we are done with our oral interview. So kindly wait at the voting area for our feedbacking. Again, I'm just going to call one person at a time. So Mr. Conrado, please. Okay. So, on your oral interview, congratulations because you have answered all the questions and you have received a perfect score, which indicates that your underpinning knowledge was satisfactory. Okay? So, on your demonstration, it is also good that you have really cleaned and sanitized all your food preparation presentation in your workstation area. You have maintained the cleanliness and hygiene and you have also prepared all the dishes. Okay? However, as I observed, you were not able to do multitasking because when you waited for the dough. Okay, you waited for the dough to instead of doing something while waiting for the dough, you just stay there. I think you became nervous that time. Yes. Okay, so that is normal. But however, you were still able to do it everything. Okay? So your interview was satisfactory. Your demonstration was also satisfactory. So congratulations because you are rated as okay. Okay. So you may receive your NC within 5 working days. Sent to you by thank you. So later, please sign here your cards. Okay, thank you. Mom Irma, please. So the rating sheet. Thank you. Okay, Mom Irma. Okay, so your oral interview, you got a perfect score as well. So your underlying knowledge is satisfactory. Congratulations on that. Okay, on your demonstration, you have prepared also all the ingredients and you have packaged the food within the food safety requirements. Okay. However, I have observed that your steak was burnt. Okay. So I suggest next time, so please try adjusting the volume of the fire of your equipment. Okay. So you're being rated as not competent. Okay. So kindly sign your rating sheet and cards. Okay, thank you.